before you become a monk, you can become a Nahk, and you will dress like me and Kunpu. And you have a choice to make whether you're going to do the 5 restrictions or the 8 restrictions. The 5 things that you cannot do are you cannot tell a lie, you cannot steal, you cannot kill animals or anything, includes mosquitoes, no alcohol or anything to alter your state of mind, and you cannot touch women. That's 5. And the 8, you add 3 more, which is you have to sleep on a hard surface. You cannot sleep on a comfortable bed. You cannot eat after noon.
Simple.
Oh, the way you dress, you have to dress simple. So you have a choice, 5 or 8. Boo and I, we both chose 8. So we are Nahk, and we dress like this. And then after Boat, you become a monk. Looking at
และเพราะด้วยแก่ตะวีว่ามีเย็บถือกรรมกันทุกทางทุกทางทุกทาง
I don't like spiders and snakes. That was a song when I was a little kid. That kind of summarizes day 1 of being a Nahk on my way to becoming a full-fledged monk. But you need to add ghosts in there. So my first day, I put on the white Nahk uniform, sat with the head monk, and took a bunch of lessons, mostly in Pali language, how to recite certain things. They're going to ask questions at the ceremony where I become a monk, and I have to answer in Pali. I went into my room, and it was just full of spiders. Lots and lots of spiders. And I'm not allowed to kill anything. If you're a monk or even a Nahk, you cannot kill things. That's one of the either 5 or 8 things you agree to. You have a choice. You can agree to 5, you can agree to 8. Things that you cannot do. Snakes. There was a braided crate. Krait, I think it's spelling. Maybe an E at the end, not sure. That was in front of, there's one other Nahk in front of his room. There's a braided crate. In Thai, it's called ngu pia. I looked it up and it came up as braided crate. Then I looked up braided crate and it said, wow, very, very dangerous neurotoxins. And we walk around barefoot. So you have to make sure that you're wearing slippers, and have a flashlight. The slippers, I don't know how much that's going to help you. So right before I went to bed, the other Nahk said, "Are you afraid of ghosts?" And I was thinking, why? What kind of question is that? He said, there's a lot of ghosts here. It's nighttime, and the last thing I was told when walking right up to my door, it's pitch black out here. I know there's snakes everywhere. They told me that. It's okay. The last thing he tells me, the guy tells me before I come into sleep is, oh, by the way, there's ghosts all over the place. He actually said that to me as a way of saying, like, hey, good night. By the way, there's ghosts everywhere. This is where I'm sleeping. And then today, on day 2, which I'll talk about, the Ajahn, the high-ranking monk here, he brought up also to me, he said, you know, there's a lot of ghosts here. The word in Thai is pi, and he just said there's a lot of them. That's not really what I want to hear before I go to sleep, but anyway, I made it through the night. The electricity is all solar, so there's a little bit, and you put the electric fan on, And during the night, at some point, when the solar runs out, everything stops. And then the next morning, it recharges. I heard a lot of noise all throughout the night, mostly dogs barking. And that kept me awake. But I didn't see any ghosts. Obviously, the first day, too, if you can't tell, I don't even recognize myself. I look like a turtle out of its shell. They shaved my eyebrows and shaved my beard. I don't even look like the same person when I see myself. Day 2, my first day, really from waking up and spending the entire day as a Nahk, the first thing I did was bin tabat. A Thai person had told me before they'll cut some slack if it's your first day that you're not used to walking barefoot, that you can wear slippers part of the way or check it out. That was not the case. Take your slippers off. Well, in Hawaii, we have different types of lava. And one of them is called ah, because when we walk on it, you go ah. It wasn't quite that bad. It was paved for the most part, but the pavement had little rocks poking out of it. So it was definitely a little bit of a torture test, a little bit of suffering involved there. Then the food comes back from bin tabat after people put the food inside the metal container, and it's split up. You eat a little bit of rice from each pot, and then the folks here at the temple cook up some food, and you eat with that. And as a Nahk, you eat with the leading monk. And so we did that, and that's when he asked me about ghosts. So when can you eat? You actually have a window. I did not know this, from 6 o'clock in the morning until 12 noon. You should probably stop like 11:30, 11:45. I just ate once, and that was at about 8 o'clock in the morning. They bang a gong, and then you go eat. After eating, you have a little bit of a pause before studying at 3 o'clock. We finished the eating part and the question and talking and stuff like that about a little bit after 10. And I got to get moving now because 3 o'clock I have to go see the lead monk, Ajahn, and he's going to drill me on the Pali language that I have to use for the ceremony. There are some other Nahks that are coming from other temples or wats, and I told the lead monk, I said, well, those guys are learning another language just like me. They don't know Pali, so we're probably going through the same stuff, right? He said, yeah, I doubt it. He said, they probably memorized it a long time ago. You got to the temple yesterday, and you're rushing through it in 2 days. These guys probably knew it, maybe even most of their life. It's not a lot to memorize, but there are completely foreign words that don't really mean anything to me, and they're being explained to me in a language that's not my language, Thai. The local dialect here is Isan, but they're speaking to me in Thai so that I can understand. And there is another Nahk here who speaks some English, and he's been super, super helpful. His name is Kun Bu, and thanks a lot, Kap Kun Mak Mak Krap. Been a great help to me. So I got to run off and do my lessons now. Aloha.